Good morning, Rebecca Vigus, the writer whisperer here from a drizzly, rainy South Central Kentucky. Under a storm warning again for snow, probably just 1 to 2 inches, but not coming in until around 1 o'clock tomorrow morning. So, yeah, we still have a little snow here and it's raining and it'll be 45 degrees today. So, I suspect most of it will be gone before it gets to snowing again. Remember, however, it is winter and snow does fall in winter. Okay, today we're going to talk about what if. What if in your writing? What if in your life? I have Julia Cameron's The Sound of Paper. The season is as beautiful as a young girl turning into a woman. It has that same mix of newness and ripening. The magnolia trees are budding. The fruit trees in Riverside Park display a froth like Parisian petticoats. It is a day to flirt with alternate lives, with the thrill of possibility, and with life itself. One of my favorite creativity tools is the one that asks, what if? What if I had 5 other lives to lead? What would I do with these imaginary lives? What would be fun to do? My list is always long on whimsy, about which I am dead serious. I write being a torch singer. I write be a composer. I write be a flautist. In the life I have now, unless I am alert, music is often marginalized. I do not go to my piano often enough to just noodle. I let my perfectionist intrude, warning sternly, you'd better be good at this if you are going to try it. All of us carry an inner perfectionist, a critic, a cynic, a skeptic, a censor, name it what you will. I call mine Nigel, and there is no pleasing him. Nigel is a thin lipped critic with his arms folded across his bony chest. Nigel demands to be shown my right to pursue an interest. Nigel wants me to be serious and good and to pursue and serious and good. Nigel is the watchdog of great art, although I doubt that Nigel has ever let himself make very much of it. He is far too highfalutin, far too high strung for dabbling, and far too self important for the idea of play. Nigel is the one who snorts in derision when I think about starting a new play. Nigel is the one who is afraid to send finished work out, and is afraid, for that matter, to finish work because then it can be judged, and people like him do the judging. Nigel was never formally invited to join my inner cast, but somehow slunk in like a shadow, slithering through the cracks of consciousness and making himself right at home in the living room. Not that he approves of the decor. Nigel would like to lock you out. In one of my imaginary lives, I have a virus sweeper installed in my household. That virus sweeper makes fast work of any Nigels trying to get through the door or in the window. In that imaginary life, I wear a small crucifix that wards Nigel off, and I chew savory cloves of garlic that I breathe in Nigel's general direction. No, Nigel sinks in his pointed fangs. No, Nigel sinks his pointed fangs into the jugular of my work in the next lifetime. In this imaginary lifetime, I am an exorcist and I have handled Nigel. How many of you have an inner perfectionist? I know I do. I have not given that inner perfectionist a name. However, maybe I should, although I won't use Nigel. Try this. This is your writing prompt for the day. It is a surprisingly powerful, though whimsical tool. Take pen in hand, and I have mine not far from me somewhere. Here's one. Take your pen in hand and number from 1 to 5. List 5 imaginary lives. Be careful to choose lives that sound fun to you. Don't choose something you don't want to do. Something that sounds absolutely horrid. You want something fun. Referring to your list, take pen in hand again and list 5 actions you could take in the life you currently have to draw you closer to each of your imaginary lives. For example, if you have an imaginary life that says cowboy, you can schedule riding lessons. You can buy a book on horses. You can go to a horse show or a rodeo. You can explore a dude ranch vacation. You can ride in a horse-drawn cab or pet a police horse. Anytime we take an action that resonates with an imaginary life, we feel better. Somehow more ourselves. Think about that. That's a deep thought. How many of you have 5 imaginary lives that would be exciting and fun and way better than what you have right now? Be honest, because I think we all do. I can think of a couple. I'm not going to share them with you, but I can think of a couple. So, as you're writing down your 5, then think about one step toward each one. One thing you could do for your number 1. One thing you could do for your number 2. One thing for your number 3. One thing for your number 4. One thing for your number 5. And then do that one thing. And when you do that one thing, write a second thing that you could do. After you've done the one thing that would take you closer to the imaginary life, then write down a second thing. You want to be a cowboy, so the first thing you do is buy yourself some boots. Cowboy boots, cowgirl boots, buy boots. Now that you've done that, what's your next thing to do? Gotta have a hat. Buy a hat. What are you going to do next? Schedule a riding lesson? See if you're even liking horses? possibilities are endless. And you could be on your way to being a cowboy or a cowgirl. And if you're living your imaginary life, how do you feel? How does it affect your writing? Does your character have an imaginary life? What is it? Let yourself run with this. Be creative. Live your best life. Happy writing. See y'all tomorrow.